Hi and welcome back to the Rideshare Buddy YouTube channel. My name's Kevin and today we're going to be taking a quick look at the TaxiCaller app, particularly for small operators and also independent operators and also hackney carriage operators. So I'm going to look at firstly I'm going to look at the Rider app. When it comes up, there we go, that's the Rider app. That's me there, I'm logged on the yellow car, and we'll have a look at that, how it relates to the driver app, and also we'll have a look at the dashboard and the setting ups. It's not going to be a total in-depth look, but I'm going to be looking at all the major issues, well, all the major functions of the app. TaxiCaller do have a very good support. So if you need any further details, get in touch with TaxiCaller. There's also a 7-day free trial. You don't go live on the app until you've either presented your hackney carriage licence or your operator's licence. So in Newport, there used to be a few drivers. I seem to be the only one online at the moment. But on the Rider app, you'll get a number of cars popping around. Let's see if we can find somewhere with more than one car. So I know we're over at Pembroke. There's more than one operator. Well, again, if you look at Pembroke, there you got the black car signifying the car's available. If you click on that car, you can hail the car and it says who it is and what company it is and how many passengers. So if you hail them, it also says what car and the registration number. So if you press the hail button there, that will give an immediate ping to the driver of that car to say you wanted to book them and go somewhere. When you hail somebody, you don't need to put in a destination, and the driver app has a meter that you can use to determine the cost of that actual ride. You can turn off hailing, but you actually have to turn on hailing. If you don't have hailing on, then it can only book a pickup and destination with the set price. And if you have it on app only payment, they have to pay through the app. You can have cash payment if you want, and you can also have a credit card payment. So let's have a look at me in my car. So that's me, hail a cab. I'm in a SUV. I'm going to try and get that changed to an EV, and I can hail myself there. So let's hail. So you have to be zoomed in on your location to be able to hail. So I set a pickup point. Then I can set the drop-off point. So let's go off to, say, Sainsbury's in Albany Street. Set drop-off point. And there you see there's no price. But I've set my payment type as a card reader. Now you can either set that as in-app payment, or you can set that as a cash payment. So let's just go over to the driver's app before we run through it. I'll just show you how it looks. So press a hail the cab, and it comes up there on my driver's app. So it's King Street to Sainsbury's, 2.2 miles, 10 yards away, ASAP pickup. No price. You have to use your in-app meter to do that price. There you go. You accept the job. You get the option to call a passenger with a telephone number. Give an approximate price on the taximeter of £8.23. And if you see this arrow here, I can press that arrow and it'll open up Google Maps or whichever mapping app you set to give me the route to the job. I then press pick up. I'm going to press that. Then you got POB there. So once you get there, you can press POB, say passengers on board. Passenger app says, oops, welcome on board, and it gives the details of the car and the cost, estimated cost. And then you can press that arrow there. Let's press that arrow. And you can get either navigate to the actual address or to the coordinates. I choose the address. I've opened it up in Waze, set Waze as a mapper. And then normally Waze is asking a lot of questions before it opens up the map. So probably Google Maps is probably much easier.
I have Tobin's Spirit Guide on audiobook if we need a distraction.
So there we go. That's the route. So that's what happens on a job call. So there you go. Let's end that job. So I've set it up as being the passenger delivered, and the passenger app gets all the details, the price, and they can have a receipt emailed if needed. So it's a duration 10 minutes, 3.5 kilometres, £8.23 payment. And then the passenger can also rate you as well. So really, it's a very easy, very simple app to use for the driver, the passenger. So let's do a pre-booked job. So we have a location. We press that. I'm going to press that little button up there to get me a current location. So it's got me down as 5 King Street. That's not where I live, but it's got me down as 5 King Street. So I set the pick up. I've not hailed this job. So I'm going to go, let's say Cardiff Bay. So I put in Cardiff Bay, set drop off. And that shows me there in that app, and I can book that there. Or if the passenger presses your name, what happens is it shows up all of the drivers in the vicinity. It goes, the closest car gets first pick. So then after that, other cars in the area that's got that area marked as being a zone they'll deliver or pick up from gets a lock in. So mine's £31.34, the others are £51. But that's because it's got to come from Pembroke Dock. I'm pretty sure they'd turn down the job if that came up. So let's go back to me. I picked me and done. They can then add a message to the driver. They can set the time for an advanced booking if they want to do an advanced booking, and there they can filter payment type. They can either pay card reader, or they can choose in-app payment, in which case they then have to put in their own cards to register a card to do in-app payment. So let's book that car. Let's change the time to an hour's time, or you can do the dates and times there. So booking 60 minutes. Done. Let's book the car. Can't do it. Too short notice. I've set in the settings. Pre-bookings have to be at least 12 hours in advance. It's really for airports, but I'm going to be changing that. So let's just change that to now. Done. So I've got ASAP. Let's book. Booking submitted, and I'm trying to find the car. Price is £31. It's popped up on my display there, and then I can accept or decline that booking. So if I'm already on a job and it's going to take me a while to get there, I'll just decline it. So let's decline. So that's gone. That doesn't stop, unfortunately. That still keeps searching. So eventually, I think it's a bit like Uber, it doesn't time out. It may time out, it may not. So let's cancel that job, and let's do that job again and do it as a pickup. So I've set up to Cardiff Bay again. This time I'll accept the job. So let's book it on the passenger app. It's searching. It's pop up. I've got the sound turned down, but you do get a pop-up notification. So let's accept the job this time. There you go. It says King Street to Cardiff Bay again. You've got your telephone number to contact the passenger if needed. It's saying that estimate on Taximeter £31.45. So I can start the job. If I hit start, because I've accepted it, I can get directions by hitting that arrow. Once I get POB, or if I get them not ready, I can hit wait and you'll start earning waiting time. Once I've got POB on board, again, I can press that and get the directions. And then just press delivered, and that's the job over. So if I arrive and put wait, the passenger app says the driver has arrived and charging waiting time. And then when I go POB or POB, passenger on board on a passenger's app. So that's it. I'm learning anew all the time. So when a job comes through, you want to hit call out. If you hit the call out button, the passenger gets on their app, driver on the way, so they know the driver is arriving. And it gives an estimated time of arrival down the bottom. So let's cancel that job. I cancelled the job. And it says it's cancelled. So let's have a quick look at the driver's app. So the driver's app, let's log out and shift. When you log in as a well, let's do that. So when you log in as a driver, that's your main screen. Now I'm also an operator, so I get the dispatch option as well, so I can dispatch jobs through the app. Doesn't seem to work very well at the moment, but maybe that's because I'm the only car on the app. If I had 2 or 3 cars, I might be able to dispatch out to different drivers. But that's as it is as a driver. You start your shift and you start which car you're in. Tells you which car. So start shift. I'm online. I'm now showing on the passenger app. So you have a jobs view. So you got available. If you get busy, you can hit the busy and that takes you offline so you don't get double booked or anything like that. Or you can just put away if you go for a lunch break or toilet break, and that takes you off the app as well. So your jobs queue is there. It shows, depending on how long you book for, you can say, just show me all the jobs in the next 24 hours or the next hour or whatever. Offers, you can't do offers unless you pay to have your own whitelisted app. So you have your own app and then you can put in offers. If you don't have your own app, and it costs about £1,500 to have your own sort of app within the app. If you don't have that, you can't do offers. I don't have it. my prices are cheap enough without giving up. So they have an in-app map. I think it's just Google Maps inserted. And as a dispatch, as an operator, I can dispatch cars, jobs to different cars, and they'll get listed down there. So, and then you can just chat to individual drivers through the in-app messenger if you have more than one car. So that's your map, your main features of the driver app. You can see your times online and on shift. Keeps a record of your own individual working hours. You got your permits, driver permit. You can't upload through the app, but if you're an operator and take on a driver, you can photocopy their driver's license, vehicle license, and upload it into the app so you can keep a record of all your drivers. There's all your transactions you do. So I've done 2 jobs so far through the app. There's your settings. You can set it to Imperial, the language, your navigation. You can set to either the OS default, Google, or Waze. I'll go back to Google Maps. It's a lot easier. Bluetooth dongle is if you have an EV. I think you can connect up to your range as well, so I'm not sure. Then you have a fare announcer. I've turned that on because what that does is it uses a speaker to tell a passenger how much a fare is going up. So it says fare £3, fare £3.20, fare £3.40, fare £3.50. Does me head in. So I've turned that off. Might be good for the passenger, but the passenger knows how much roughly it's going to cost anyway. You can connect up to your Zettel account if you want. I don't have Zettel. I have Square Reader, so I use Square, but that's easy enough done. And if you set up through the dashboard on the desktop, you can set up in-app payments through your Stripe account, and that goes directly to your Stripe account. It doesn't go to TaxiCaller, and then TaxiCaller ships it out. It's directly to your bank or directly to your Stripe account, and then you just pay the fees that Stripe charges. No additional fees with TaxiCaller. For one car, it's £17 a month to get on the system. Fair deal. You know, that's not a bad deal. If you got more than about 5 or 6 cars, then the prices start dropping per car. But £17 a month, and that's it. There's no commission, no nothing. So you can really build up your own personal trade, because passengers can book you personally if they like your car. It's not like Uber where you can't build up your own personal trade. It doesn't matter if you're really the best driver in Uber. Next job could go to the worst driver in Uber. Passengers can't choose your driver, which is a shame. They should be able to they should have a favourite driver feature, but they don't. But with this, you can build up your own trade, even though you're in public. If you don't want to go to the expense of having your own app or in-app wrapped around it, which is over £1,000, just go on the system, public system, and if people want to book with you personally, they'll book with you personally, and they can find your car and they can book direct with you. It's not an issue. So I quite like that. The other issue about being on a public system like this is if you are an independent driver, you can't cover 24 hours yourself. You can't do everything yourself. Even if you got 2 or 3 cars, you can't always cover all your jobs that comes in. And the best thing about being on a public system like this is there should hopefully be other cars that can cover for you. And passengers, if you have your own app and you can't cover the work, will very quickly take the app off and go elsewhere and go back to Uber or Bolt or whatever, where they can be sure of having a car on demand. So it's always quite good to be a part of a public system. They do say the public system, the more is greater than the individual parts, and it's really is true. So if you need more details, there is a free trial available for this TaxiCaller. Connect up with the free trial. I'll put a link in below. We are now going to look at the desktop, which can be quite complicated, but they do have a really good help system. They do get back in touch pretty quickly. I mean, during working hours, it's almost instant. They'll be there within a couple of minutes to help you out. Over the weekends, it might take a little bit longer. But yeah, really easy to work. The TaxiCaller is gives you good zones, so it gives you good opportunities to earn some money. But let's have a look at the desktop app or dashboard that you'll get, which is the meat and the real meat and veg of the system. And it's where you can set all your prices and everything. Okay, let's have a look at the dispatch section before we go across and look at the admin section. This is my area of operation. We can change that and we'll look at doing that later. All cars, one, 3 cars, one, busy and away. So that's my area of operation, and anybody can book a taxi as long as they're within that area. So if you've got an office and they take phone call bookings, you can use this. So let's say Newport Station. So this is a there we go. This is for a telephone booking. Let's say they're going to Cardiff Bay. It's saying the route's 28 minutes, to be a little bit longer than that in this traffic, 16 miles. You can check, and that says pick up in about 3 minutes, and the price will be £31.57. So you can give over the air bookings. So then you just book the car. Now, because I'm a single operator, single car, this will automatically go to assigned, and my driver app will come up with the details. If I had more than one car, then I could set it to go unassigned, and there I can manually assign to a driver. What you do, you'll click on the job, which will show up here, and further down here, you can assign to reassign, and then you can assign to whoever drivers you got. I've only got the one, so I'll submit to the job assigned. But you can do accounts and everything, payment types, send messages to all parties or just to the driver. Companies, we'll look into that later. But that's what happens if, say, your operator is on the telephone taking the bookings over the phone. But what happens when bookings coming over the app? Let's have a look. Okay, so we've done that trip with, say, the person on the telephone talking to your dispatch operator. Let's see what we can do if a person books through the app. What happens then in the desktop dispatch? So let's do King Street going back to Cardiff Bay. So I've just put that in the passenger app, set drop-off point and book. And there you go, because I'm just the one driver, it's showing up here, King Street to Cardiff Bay. I can click on that, see all the details of the job and reassign if necessary. But if I had more than one driver, I wouldn't have auto assigned turned on. I'd have it normal, and then it'll go into unassigned. It'll pop up, and that's just telling me I've not accepted the booking. So I can cancel a job there, put in a reason. But it will pop up there. You can click on it, get all the details, and assign the driver whenever you wanted. Okay, as you can see, I owe for next month's payments. I'll just top that up. There's all your walkthroughs and help. There's some quite good videos around. But let's have a look at the admin. That's our dashboard. Let's go down to general. And here, you can enable tariffs. If you deselect that, you won't be able to select the driver. You can enable the in-app Taximeter in the driver app, and that's really pretty good. It does both mileage and wait times. It's just like having a black cap meter in the car. So this is where you set up how to dispatch jobs. You can allow a maximum of 30 seconds or even less for a driver to accept the job. I mean, I'm the only driver, so it doesn't really matter. And this gives estimated times of arrival. You can manually set the speeds and the lot, like. And then if you've got a lot of cars and cover a big area, you can set up the zones. So you might have a central Newport zone, or you might have a Celtic Manor zone, and you might have a Cumberland zone. So you can always do that as well. In the companies, this is where you put in your companies that you operate. So each one of these companies will need to submit either a hackney carriage license or a operator's license, which will be verified by TaxiCaller before you go live. And there's various settings you can do, but this is the service area. This is how you set your service area. You get little yellow dots, you just pull them out and push them in and just cover the area that you want to cover in your work. I might actually bring that down because there's a little bit of natural gold cliff there not being covered, so we'll save that. And you also have your company operating hours. So you can operate 24 hours or whatever. I only do 8 till 8, and on the weekends I might work 8 till 9 p.m. So those are my operating times, and you won't be able to book a taxi outside of those times. And here you can just allow messaging, so drivers can send custom messages to riders, dispatch can send messages, and who they can send those messages to. So that's how you set up your company. Fairly straightforward, fairly easy to do. You can require a driver to specify price paid for each trip. So that needs to go through the app, and then that'll come into your accounting procedures. But that is very simple to set up your company, and then the rest is really about setting up vehicles, zones, tariffs, and the like. This is your account. That's how you. Those are the fees there. 16.50 IO. So 1 to 24 cars, £17 a car each month. 25 to 49, £15 a car each month. Vehicles 50 plus, £14 a car each month. So let's go back. You can see my history there. You can download account jobs, and you can do account jobs and do all of your accounts through this through the taxi app. So let's go to users, and by users, it's actually drivers. So this is really for multi-car operations. But very simple to add. You just add a driver. Can they operate as dispatcher? No. Username, password, first name, and you also get to upload driving licenses and operators licenses and stuff like that. So you can tag each car with things like no smoking, EV car, female driver, and stuff like that to give that little bit of extra details for each of the cars. Then you can make sure that all of the cars have their relevant, all of the drivers have their relevant permits and operator's license and hackney carriage's license and the like. And then you can assign that person various permissions as to what they can do in the app. You then have a cars, add car, and you can very simply do that again. Set the passenger number, whether it's wheelchair accessible, number of suitcases, the type of car it is, make, model, and the image is what shows on the passenger app, the rider app. So you can have a sedan and change the colour of the car depending on which one you want. So let's archive that. You got vehicle types. You can add your own vehicle type. You can again tag no vapes, no smoking, all the permits. Make sure they've all got it, and the booking options. So it shows you the image. Is there an EV? They should have an EV. It really should have an EV. Has a icon. So that's that. So you can add zones as well. This is really for larger companies. So maybe you'll have a Newport zone where you have Newport cars. You'll have a Cardiff zone where cars can rank in Cardiff, or they can rank in Newport. You might have another one in Cumberland. Really, fully tend to be larger companies will use the zones, and then you can do different tariffs for different zones and the like. Let's quickly look at tariffs. So here you can set up a tariff zone. So you would have your Newport tariff zone or the Cardiff tariff zone, and you can do that just by adding there. You then have a schedule, which is your working hours for that tariff. So, for instance, my standard tariff runs from 8 till 8 and 8 to 9 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But if you want to add a night tariff, so let's create a night tariff. And we'll run that on Friday from 9 to midnight. And you'll see what I've done that in the next section. Now, of course, if you want to then do this area from 12 a.m. Saturday and Sunday to Monday morning till 8, then you'd have another, create another schedule to cover those hours. So then we go into tariffs, and here we can see Newport tariff, and we've added on this night tariff, but there's nothing there yet because I've only just added it on, and you do that by having your start price and then per yard, and you can add on other variable per yards, and then time rates, minimum fare, and things like that. So what you can do, it's very quite powerful. This is my standard rate. £4 minimum fare. I'm going to increase that to £5 soon. Distance rate is £1.75 a mile for the first mile, and then £1.70 for 1 to 4 miles, and £1.65. These have all got to go up shortly because it is December and I need to start planning for the increase in costs. So that's what you can do. You just edit that. So if you are Hackney Carriage, you just use your Hackney Carriage rates and set up your waiting time as well. Come down here, you can set up your waiting time. I've got 2 minutes free, then 30p a minute after. But you can just set up to your local authority rates. Fairly simple and fairly easy, which is what makes this quite a good one for Hackney Carriages as well. So points of interest. So if you're going to do, Cardiff Bay, wetlands, set fares to wetlands and stuff like that, you can do without a problem. But I don't really know. You'd have to contact support. I don't know what it is. I don't use it, but I'm sure it's a powerful thing to do if you do use it. Okay, so this is the driver app section, and you can set up your buttons as to what shows on the driver app and any sounds, and you can set up your receipt application. There's lots and lots of different videos to do with TaxiCaller, official videos, which goes through all this, but it's fairly quite simple and very straightforward. You then got notifications, street pickups. This is what you can send to customers. This is what you can send to drivers. You have your receipts and various things like that. So, and then you have your planning where you can set up your shifts for drivers. So you go, driver, Kevin Heath, this is my shift. So You can set in all your drivers. You can set maximum driving time and rest cycles, enforce shift times, and anything else like that. So that's all very much very easy, very powerful to set it up. Now you've got a booking apps. So if you've got a website, you can actually embed a web form onto your website, which does all of this. Just cut and paste that into your website, and people can book via your website. Now, on your website form, the only cars that are showing are your own company cars. So the public won't app won't display just your own cars, and they can only book through your company through the web booking form. Reception tool. This is quite a good one because if you connect up with a local hotel, you can give your local hotel a web form, and then they can book the cars for you on your behalf. So at the reception, a passenger can come in and say, "Can I have such and such car?" And I dare say you could arrange some commission to be paid for them. And this is where you can rebrand your app so you only have your own cars displayed, but it is a little bit costly. There you go, £1,000 plus VAT. So, and you got to have at least 15 vehicles a year. So, quite expensive to do. And if you're a small operator, you really need to be on the public app because passengers need to be able to get a car, whether it's you or not, in the times when you're not working. Otherwise, they'll just go elsewhere. Okay, so let's have a quick look down this side list here. There are some quite good ones. So you can search for individual jobs if there's an issue, or the closed jobs that you've done that's been successfully completed or cancelled. Customers, you can create customer accounts. So you can have business accounts, customer accounts. You can offer discounts, company discount that's you as a business, and driver discount. Set the priorities and stuff like that. So that's quite a good one to do. Handy to look after all of your accounts. Alerts allow you to send out alerts to people. Suspensions is a way for you to add a driver into a suspension for any reason, and it keeps you abreast of who's suspended and who's not. That's your banking accounts. Preferences on how the app operates, desktop app operates. The vehicles we've done users, that's your drivers. This is an interesting one. Passenger blacklist, so you can block passengers who cause problems from booking with you again. Obviously, they might use other different names and stuff like that, but at least there's an option there for you to stop passengers from booking with you if they do cause you a problem. So if you do have customer accounts that you've set up earlier, in the dashboard, admin dashboard, you got customers, and there you can set up invoices and generate invoices for the customer all within the same item. So it's really quite a powerful one in helping you set up your own little mini dispatch system. Great for small single operators, getting you into a network of other drivers to help cover the work when you're not working. I think it's one of the best around for the price. £17 for an individual car. I will drop the link in below. Obviously, I can earn a little bit of money or credits if you do trial and go on to order it. But I quite like this. It's a nice, easy to use platform, which is quite powerful, allowing you to set up different tariffs for different times of day and night and bank holidays. It takes a little bit of work in getting it all set up and correctly done, but once it's set up, it's fairly straightforward. So it gets a good thumbs up from me. I've done a couple of jobs off it already, but it is one of those apps where you really need to push and build up your own network and your own work. It's just a tool. It's not like an Uber or a Bolt. This is a tool to help you run your own business. and I quite like it. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Hi, thanks for watching. I hope you like that little quick walk through of the TaxiCaller app. I'm using it. I quite like it. I think it's quite powerful for what it is. Great for small operators. Great for hackney carriages. Great for sole operator drivers. So I've dropped the link in below. If you'd like to give it a free trial, great. It's a free trial. You can do it and play with it for 7 days. You won't go live until after you've inserted or uploaded your operator's license or hackney carriage license, and it's checked by TaxiCaller. And then if you do carry on with it, I'll get a little bit of a free credit for my account. But this isn't sponsored or paid for. It is purely because I use it, I like it, and I'm hoping it's going to allow me to sort of build up a nice local, better paying clientele around Newport and the area. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, safe driving this festive season. We've got a cold spell coming up. Supposed to go down to -7 at some stage. I'll keep you updated with how the EV copes with the real cold.